So in a sense, I didn't expect to be saying this soon, Johnny. It is version 1 waiting in the grand finals. We're going to see who is going to meet them there. Have G2 got that bounce back, or are NRG just going to schmoove on into the next round?
Oh, what a time to be alive, seeing V1 waiting in the final for NRG or G2. And I'm right there with you. This is not what I expected before this weekend. And I don't think I expected to see this throughout the entire year. You know, V1, really exciting to see Beast Mode join them, but this is really, really soon to be seeing them in the grand final waiting for a matchup like this in Lords.
I mean, if we get into this, V1 fans, I know you've had it rough for the last year or so, so enjoy this. But I'm sure they're not going to enjoy whoever they come up against here. I'm sure there was plenty of other names V1 fans would prefer to see taking part in this lower finals. Instead, NRG and G2, the two standard bearers, this split for North America, up against each other. Squishy does move very far forward to start us off. Can he get extra plays? Yes, he does. Squishy's so tricky to read in that situation because you don't know if he's going to just try and air dribble the whole way or go and grab the reset.
Yeah, you saw the early jump coming in from Atomic. That's why he doesn't want to slow down for the reset there. Squishy mechanics going to be able to land that reset if he wants it, but these guys are always adapting mid-air. If they see that challenge coming towards them, they're just going to go for the high air dribble, see if they can get over it. But likewise, the defense will adapt, and Atomic continued just flying in the way of Squishy so he can block the reset if it looks like that's coming at him. If it looks like a standard air dribble, blocks that as well. It's really good aerial defense by Atomic for G2.
I did hear the desk as well, questioning the G2 defense. Not only, barely even 24 hours removed since I made the comment there. It sounded like the whole of North America, especially the North American analysts, were starting to believe in G2's crisis management a little bit more. A couple of results the opposite way, and everyone's starting to question it yet again. But the big matchup here, the transition game of NRG versus the third man positioning of Atomic. Can he make the right decisions at the right time and not get caught out? If you can do that, some big step forward for G2 to take this.
Fantastic work by Garrett G in the back corner, just getting behind the ball. No danger of getting dunked on, no danger of conceding or even letting a center ball go past him. With no boost available, that's the right thing to be doing. Look at JNaps now, just staying on that backboard. Knows that Justin is likely to look for the high route to the G2 goal. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing from both teams. This is, I think, the real test for G2. Yes, they've been able to win an event when everything was going their way last regional round, but now they've hit a bit of a road bump. And V1 getting that upset win over them, throw them into the deep waters against NRG, but at the moment, they are swimming, albeit against that current. NRG, for the most part, getting the midfield control.
Both teams are just doing an exceptional job of mixing in the fake challenges with the real ones. It's been so difficult to read which way it's going to go. Garrett off the backboard, a lot of work to do, leaves it for Justin. And that gives JNaps just a little bit of time to get himself back into position. Would have liked that to be a bit close to his teammate. But so far, defense from both teams is really, really good. But we knew that from both of these teams as well. The real question is, what do you do when things get chaotic? Well, you're not going to do much. If you've lost 2 players, no one's going to really complain about how you defend against this because there's nobody left around to do anything.
You know, if NRG were scrimming NRG right now, there would be only trolling from here on. I saw 2 demos in a row, Shogun squishing in both the G2 defenders. That's against the rules. But it's very effective. I'd love to see more of that from him.
Again, just stalling the game and making sure that they've got some static defenders to aim for. Can be so effective when well utilized. That's going to be difficult to read, and Atomic, happy to see that one go into his own car. Ends up being left for him. What's the support around? Almost able to just squeeze it past a couple of the NRG defenders. Now a booming clear from Garrett. Looks for Squishy. NRG will always have that option downfield. Makes them so difficult to play against because you got to figure out, is this solo play? Is it 1 against 2? NRG will not show that hand until the last possible moment as Justin tries to get his team a little bit of time. G2's opportunity to set up. They steal some boost. They've done a good job, but Chicago all the way out to JNaps. All the way up. You see Garrett on the backboards, and that was enough to dissuade JNaps from going further.
Still full midfield control for NRG. Not giving G2 any chances to center the ball. Staying goal side on every challenge has been the name of the game for NRG here. G2 do like to keep it simple. They like to just test the goalkeeper, albeit from distance sometimes. Just get shots on net, get shots to the backboard. If you can just always be goal side against them, then you are cutting off all those opportunities, forcing G2 to be a bit more creative in the setup.
As we go to the last minute, it is now up to G2 to take those extra risks. Done a good job of not panicking after the first goal went in, but now it's time to start sending it. Chicago, the infield will be around. That was the best possible bounce out to him for him to go for it. Couldn't quite get the shout over to Atomic. This time it's Atomic off the backboard. Squish already there. Chicago back down. Atomic gets there once again. NRG holding on incredibly well. No golden opportunities just yet for G2. They've got 30 more seconds to find some sort of fantastic play to just get through. But Justin guides the ball to the other side of the field, and it's all work to do yet again for G2.
It's been brilliant defense, like you mentioned, from NRG. No double commitments, no opportunities. Oh my goodness, I spoke too soon because suddenly they have just missed a rookie save. What is this? Atomic gets one extra touch on the ball, but that's all he's managed to do. And I think Justin just had full faith in Garrett G hitting that one because he didn't jump.
I don't know. It's one of those ones where I want to give extra credit somewhere else because it just looks that simple. And you think, surely that's not it. Either way, Justin not able to get there in time. And G2, after struggling for so long to find one big opportunity for themselves, are handed their first goal, and we go over to overtime.
Yeah, it's just one of those spots where you wonder, would it have made more sense to double commit? Well, Justin's going to redeem himself here. Beautiful infield pass from Squishy. In 6 seconds, NRG take it with the overtime win. As double 50-50 in the center left G2 with no way to defend the shot and the infield pass at the same time. A bit unfortunate for them as NRG just come out with 2 50-50s in a row, bouncing straight to their third man in the back corner who just grabbed boost. But that's how it happens. You know, if you're going to go for the dead ball kickoff, you're more likely to get a goal for one team or the other in the following few seconds. This time it goes to NRG.
Yep, NRG happy to see that go their way. It's something that can tilt you very quickly after you see the game just get away from you like that. There you go, Garrett G. Well, he's more than capable of scoring open nets. I don't think anyone's ever going to question that, but will NRG make more usage of those demo plays throughout this? I think it's something they've got to do. We already know G2 are going to do it. You have to kind of fight fire with fire in this scenario, because if G2 know that they are just going to get it for free, demo after demo after demo, they're going to have a brilliant time with it. And we saw them ease into that style against FaZe yesterday. So maybe expect to see a little bit more here, but for both these teams, yeah, I think a solid showing. Maybe the last 30 seconds, not quite up to the same standard that we got for the previous 4 minutes and 30. But defensively, both of these teams look brilliant.
It's very impressive to see NRG still able to stay so calm under all the pressure that they're being put under at the end of that game as G2 piling it on them. NRG just communicates so clearly and they space out so well in defense that you'll rarely see any of them panic, and you'll rarely see a double commit. But like I was about to mention before,
don't do it. You can see it happen again.
I don't mind seeing the double commits. You know, if it's a ball on the goal line, I think you just have to double commit there. You know, even if it looks like Garrett's maybe got it covered. Well, what if he doesn't? You're already up by 1. Just go for that double commit, get the ball in the corner. It looked like the recoveries wouldn't have been too bad. Well, you know, double commit that close to the ground, it's not the same as double committing all the way up in the air near the ceiling.
So Forbidden Temple for game 2. Justin just shows the balls to the opposite side of the field. Looks to try and find a way out, but Atomic not having any of that. One of the players that you would least want to meet in the midfield, but another 2v1 squishy off the backboard. JNAPS does jump. Already see from Atomic's angle that he did not believe NRG had a player up. He was correct to think so went and stole himself a little bit of boost. Although G2 are in scramble mode right now. They need to get a little bit of control over this, and that's how you do it. Pass over to JNAPS. They start to go opposite side of the field. Chicago stole a tiny bit of boost. G2 will wish that they could have done a bit more with that, however. But more importantly, they were out of their side of the field. They can start to just get that boost total back up.
Well, just keeping an eye on Justin in particular right now, see what he's getting up to. And very deep rotations. Very normal to see him do that. That's how he prefers to play. Just go back all the way back for the 100 boost rather than stick around with 20 or 30. You know, they're just waiting patiently for that opportunity to come, and that's fair enough with the game still being tied at 0-0. I'm very curious to see if NRG will press for more advantages. Use this series as kind of an experimental series because they've already got that first seed locked in for NA. I'd love to see them, go for more of that physical play that we saw in the first game. Maybe just more ball pressure as well. Something I'm sure that they're going to be very good at, should they make the effort.
There's Chicago up. Squishy just gets contact on the car, something we've seen more and more frequently over the past year. Not as worried about making any sort of contact on the ball as long as the play does die. JNAP's off the backboard. Justin again gets enough on it to keep it away. Atomic very close to the play. G2 just more adamant about maintaining territory than creating themselves a chance. Let's see if they can just starve out NRG, although that's going to be hard to do. Garrett has whiffed it. Chicago ends up just pelting the ball to the opposite side of the field. That gives NRG plenty of time to get back. G2 just seems a little shocked. We're getting small mistakes from NRG, and G2 just seems surprised by it every single time and can't do anything with it.
Well, we've seen 3 minutes of gameplay, not a single shot for G2. NRG haven't really created any real deadly chances on that either, although they do have 3 shots to their name. But this is just great midfield control from NRG for the most part. They are intercepting everything that G2 try to get started. They're stopping opportunities before they're anywhere close to the goal. G2, despite all of their firepower and offense, can't get anywhere near enough to the net to use any of it.
This is going to be their best chance in a while. Atomic off the backboard. Leaves it for Garrett, but very difficult to play from there. Here's JNAP. He scuffed it entirely. And another chance goes to the wayside off the backboard, and it is completely gone. They've got to reset. NRG are going to get rid of it, and G2, how wasteful was that?
It just looked like JNABs couldn't make up his mind what to do. He arrived at a perfect position to try and get a shot off, and he just didn't shoot the ball, didn't control the ball. He was somewhere in between. And that indecision has cost them because, like you mentioned, that was by far the best chances they've had. 2 in a row. First indecision from JNAP's follow-up shot goes over the bar to G2. Not really putting it together right now in the final third. NRG just calmly going about their business, waiting patiently for that opportunity. They're continuing to rotate, control the midfield, control the boost. If it keeps going like this, they will come out with that goal eventually.
Well, 30 seconds left. Only one big opportunity either side of the ball as Atomic does get the save. Big demo as well. Up goes Justin. Atomic couldn't get there. Justin makes it 1-0.
We must have misunderstood something. I'm imagining that Squishy Rules was actually spelled R-U-L-E-S, and he's ruling the pitch, Shogun. He is just the ruler right now. Every time he demos somebody, goal for NRG. Just get this man up front. Physical play only. But they're doing it sporadically, so it's hard to see this coming. G2 can't predict that from NRG.
And the setup play is brilliant every single time. Just get the ball up high and wait to see who's going for it and take out the other player. Whoever's not going is perfectly viable to get demoed. And now only a couple of seconds left. What have G2 got? Or are we going to be looking back at that missed opportunity from JNABs and say that was the moment that G2 lost it? Squishy sets up. Now can he get them to finish off the game? Justin already over. Atomic keeps the ball alive. JNABs, he's got options downfield. Garrett does get to the ball in time. That's too far away from JNABs, and NRG takes the game.
Solid stuff. NRG really only under threat for a brief moment in this game. For the majority of it, they had full control. They're completely stifling G2. It was a great. I hope you get to see it again. It was a questionable moment from G2, but unfortunately, that is something they have been struggling with today. They don't look anywhere near as consistent. Even though they've got that second seed for the major locked in,
here it is,
and there's nothing to change it. I mean, that's just indecision, isn't it? You just got to go for the shot there. You got to absolutely slam that, or go for some kind of pass or something. Just got to do something.
Like it doesn't look like either. Like from the way he gets to it, he just gets underneath it and just goes, "Oh, I'm here like half a second too early." I don't know what happened with that one, but for G2, I mean, that's the level we're at right here. You cannot afford to be doing that. And for a team that really everyone I was speaking to kind of felt like this was G2's tournament to take. It's slipping from them, and G2 have taken their time out. This is the time to do it, I feel.
Yeah.
This is actually, I'm very impressed with this one, actually, because we've seen a lot of teams, Johnny, where it has been close games that it's just got away from them, still not use the timeout after that second loss. I feel like even if the games are close, you've got to use it at 2-0 down.
Yeah, you want to just get it in there whenever you sense that the overall big picture of the series is not going well, and it definitely isn't for G2. There's, we've seen 2 games. They have been close games, one in OT, one with a 1-goal difference. But they really just look like they're being outplayed in the midfield in both of those games. They weren't putting together their passing plays. They're, usually very high shot output is nowhere to be seen. So clearly something's going very wrong for G2, and they're going to try and figure out what they need to do differently right now. As for NRG, they've not really been tested. We've not even seen if they've had to, or we've not even seen them produce the world-class defense that they usually produce, because their midfield has been good enough. It's completely stifled G2, and when G2 do get chances, they're just really not taking them. So, yeah, still to see the best from either team, but NRG at the moment with a much higher floor, as they always seem to have in North America.
Right, I got a question for you here, Johnny, before we go into game number 3. Let's say you are right now the world's biggest version 1 fan. You've got the t-shirts, you've got their wallpaper on your computer, and you've even got a flag somewhere that you can wave around. From what you've seen in this series, are you happy or not against the possibility of playing against either of these teams?
Well, V1, they're just going to be delighted that they're making major. I think anything else is a bonus, but of course they are still playing for that 4th seed, which is relevant as that's going to give you a better group at the major than the 5th seed if they can knock Space Station down into that. So, if you want to pick which team you're going to favor playing against, you'd probably expect it to be G2 because they already beat them today. And yeah, seeing the way that G2 are playing, I don't think that's going to happen. But that being said, they do get the opening goal, and it was a very G2 looking goal as well. Just getting the ball alive in the center of the box. Somebody quickly attacks it, top shelf shot. No indecision that time from JNAPS.
Yeah, I think they finally got the confidence to send all 3. Finally had the boost to actually go and do that as well. It's something that they've just struggled to even get the opportunities for. And more importantly, the player that goes and gets that goal. I feel JNAPS is the one that needed that the most, given how the last game went. Here is Garrett G. Wants the block, gets the block, gets the goal!
What a dunk from Garrett G. Now, he didn't have a reset on this play, but he pre-flips into a great position. JNAPS didn't expect Garrett G to try and force it low there, and he gets completely caught out with a monstrous challenge midair, immediately tying the game for NRG.
Garrett knew what he wanted the moment he hit that ball the first time. Had everybody in the palm of his hands, and does go and get himself his opening goal. Atomic, though, being a lot more aggressive on the opposite side of the field, expects the G2 try and get those demo and bump plays underway. The only real difficulty they've had is that the ball isn't in the NRG side of the field long enough for them to go out on the hunt for the players. In fact, there is a demo for NRG instead. That opens up the midfield for them. They transition to the opposite side of the field. Garrett to himself. Can't get any further than JNAPS. Justin sets it. Garrett keeps the ball alive. Squishy had to just rotate back out. Does move back in. Couldn't get any real power on the hit, though. And this is all over the place right now, but it is Atomic that comes out on top. There is Chicago. But it is taken away by JNAPS far too early. Instead, gets the bump on the way back out. That's what G2 want to be seeing. Come out from the blind spots and wipe out a player, and it causes this sort of chaos. A huge opportunity. I have no idea how on earth that car got down quick enough in order to get the save. But we stay at 1 each. G2 starting to hit the next gear.
Yeah, and so far, it's been just a little bit more unpredictable of a performance from G2. They brought in Atomic in the transfer window before this split because, amongst other things, he is so unpredictable. Oh dear, JNAPS missed the ball here. Oh no, well, sometimes as a Rocket League commentator, you feel like you've got a moment to talk because it looks like the ball's going to go clear. Turns out that wasn't one of those moments. JNAPS underestimates just how much of a bounce it was going to have. And NRG get the easiest goal of the day, 2-1 up now.
Unfortunately, that is now the second time that we look at a misread from JNAPS. Needs to just find his footing once again. We were hoping that the goal that the G2 got was going to help him out of that, but still seems to be struggling. Chicago right over to Squishy and does actually get it back. Nice 1-2 play between the wrong teams. Off the post, and Atomic needed to go and get the midfield boost. Was not available for a follow-up shot.
Yeah, G2 still have a lot of time left, luckily, in this game. However, looking at the series as a whole, it's taken them an awful long time to really get any shots on net. And even in this game, NRG keeping it to a low total for G2. And G2 are much more used to continually pressuring their opponents. Not against NRG, who are much more ready to match them with the pace and follow up on any G2 passing play really well. Here's one though. Oh, I was actually begging to be struck on target. The double pass there from G2 did not go predicted from NRG. The shot off the post. Again, inaccuracy for G2, causing them problems.
Oh, a save! They need another one! What? And instead, Chicago will be so thankful to see the ball finally cross the line, because look inside the goal. In and out save attempted by Justin, and barely not able to get there.
Oh, that was so close. So, you know, if Justin had just got back to that, we would have been seeing this on replays for so long, because the initial save there from
this is huge.
was phenomenal. Chicago's got a big chance. Into the bar. Oh my goodness, Christian gets a touch after the bounce. That's so unfortunate for Chicago. He made the right play there, going high with the flick to force the pre-jump, and then hopefully a teammate can come in behind him to rebound. Squishy goes high, gets the touch of the ball after it bounces in the back wall.
G2 need this, and it has been closer to their sort of game as NRG controlled the last one. This one just feels more open. There's more chances. There's more chaos. There's a lot more bumps and demos. As Atomic does clear, Chicago just about reaches the ball. And another huge block as well. Atomic, who has he got to support him? Not quite able to find the pass. G2 did not jump forward either. Instead, that's the shot they want, and Squishy just holds the car midair, palms the ball away. 2 each, still stays the scoreline. And Atomic has not got the boost to keep that play on.
NRG scrambling to clear here. G2 circling. This is where they put up their best performances. Just attacking from all angles. But it looks like NRG have found a way to break free. Squishy lurking downfield to receive Garrett's pass. But for a moment there, G2 looked like they were back at their best. It's not giving any clears to their opponents. That's what they're most known for. Now here comes Chicago. He's accidentally cleared the ball with that shot. G2 do look like they're putting up by far the best game that we've seen from them so far. They look dangerous, consistently dangerous as well, not just flashes followed by mistakes. Of course, seen that one error from JNaps, but in offense, G2 look great this game.
Yeah, this really has felt like the G2 that we got used to seeing for the longest time. We do see Chicago trying to find an opportunity. It looks like we can have another overtime. Possibly the 15th overtime of the season between NRG and G2. Certainly have got used to playing against each other. Well, record is 9-6 for NRG. Is it going to be number 10 and put them onto match point?
It's another dead ball kickoff attempted. Justin with a slight touch knocks it towards Squishy, who is grabbing the boost behind him. Key play there from Justin, or else it would have been G2 in a 2v1 position. It's not too bad for G2 either. We do go to midfield play here, unlike the opening overtime of this series. G2 really need to get a win here. It's hard to imagine yet another best of 7 reverse sweep in North America.
It's like they saw one and they just decided, oh wow, this is actually really good fun. Just keep doing it over and over. As Atomic does find the block. Probably still very upset about the earlier block shot from Garrett. Chicago now sees Atomic get blocked. He's going to be called into action. Sees JNaps on the far side. Has to be there quick enough. He is. 50 seconds down here. G2 looking to try and lock, but that midfield pass so lethal.
Wow.
Justin smashes the shot.
Well, Squishy just slams the ball down the line. Garrett G stealing pitches it into the middle, and Justin's sprinting into that position to catch up on a pass that would have gotten away from a lot of other players. Full team play from NRG from one end of the field to the other in the blink of an eye. And G2 put up their best game yet, and it's still not enough to take down NRG.
I'm sorry, we heard the desk talk about the NRG transition game. That was another class entirely. That was a worldie of a passing play out of their own side of the field. How on earth did Garrett find that? That is ridiculous.
Yeah, unreal.
I mean,
unreal.
You talk about completely different levels required for the goals. We saw the JNaps whiff earlier on. Easy as you like to try and put that one in, but to put that together to win in the overtime, NRG have upped their overtime wins to 10-6 against G2. But the most important number now is the number 4, because that is the amount of wins that G2 need to get this series in the bag and take on V1 in the finals.
Yeah, and I just don't see it today. There's been too many mistakes for G2 against version 1 earlier on in the day. Too many mistakes in this series against NRG. Incredibly hard to imagine NRG being reverse swept in a best of 7 by anybody. But today, the G2 that we're seeing, not going to get it done. A sweep's more likely by far. They've had, just pretty consistent mistakes in defense. And even if they do put it together in offense, it looks like NRG are quite capable of going toe-to-toe with G2, with G2 playing full steam, firing on all cylinders in offense. So yeah, you got to go NRG here, obviously. But the only question is, will they get it done first try?
Yeah, and for NRG, it just seems effortless. They're putting together brilliant plays, and you look at their boost totals, they've barely used any. It has been so efficient. They've not put themselves in a bad spot, and it has required so much work from G2 to even get themselves involved in the previous game. Now, they need to do something special. The timeouts are gone. NRG not known for using any of their timeouts, so it's going to have to be 20 minutes of the best Rocket League G2 have played.
They should have just flexed on G2 with the timeout there.
I still keep claiming this. I want to see it so bad, Johnny.
Likewise, what shot by Squishy. Just completely fooling the defender. He faked the infield pass, chipped the ball to the far post top corner, denied by the inside of said post. That kind of surprising play from Squishy has been great to see today, whether it's physical play, whether it's those... Squishy's fine. He's always got the fast recoveries. I want to see more of this from NRG. I feel like they have unlocked a new aspect of their gameplay, which has maybe not been at the same level as the other world-class teams. That's the physical play and offense. They're obviously going to be able to do it if they just try instead of always rotating back. And we've seen that today result in immediate goals from them. If they just mix it in every now and then, they don't have to do it a lot. That can be the difference for them, mixing in that occasional demo.
Off the backboard, Carrot's got a lot of work to do, goes for the in and out, and that's how you counter the in and out save. Chicago rolls the ball past Garrett G.
Yeah, smart placement from Chicago. He saw Garrett G coming out the underside of the crossbar, so he keeps the shot low, and the other key element is not to hit it directly in line with the player going for the in and out save, so he makes sure to hit it slightly to the right, or left would have of course worked as well. So that just means that Garrett can't double jump to get it down and knock the ball clear. Perfect placement from Chicago, although it wasn't a fast shot, didn't have to be.
So G2 get their first goal, first of many if they are to try and get this back. Squishy just going to keep following up. He has been everywhere this series. Garrett G right down the line. Is it good enough? No, Atomic just there to keep the ball away. The last thing G2 want to see after working so hard to get their goal is just to see it handed away again. And what a shot that is. And Justin, not to be fooled, was well on his toes to get there.
Yeah, full team passing play, just like the one we saw from NRG, but a little bit slower in the setup from G2. Of course, that does make it a bit harder to score the final shot. Oh my goodness, JNabs has actually hit that angle. Squishy moved off the goal line. He did not trust JNabs to hit this, but his countryman's one-upped him on that play. Brilliant shot.
He's in with a nice shot.
In the chat as well, in the quick chat as well. Only compliments between two legends of the game.
You know it's all good. This quick chat is not often used, but when you see the nice shot, you know it was good. And G2 are going for the plays now. They've decided, all right, NRG are not going to give us any freebies. We'll go for something a little bit further beyond them. And if that's the level of play it's going to take, then that's the level of play that JNabs is willing to deliver. Now again, infield to Chicago. Bang! 3-0.
Once again, JNabs completely bamboozles NRG's defense. He tends to go for the well play, cuts infield for the infield pass, has all of NRG facing the wrong direction. From that range, Chicago's never going to miss. 3-0, G2 showing up huge in Game 4.
There's always one of these games, isn't there, Johnny? Whenever we get here, there's always one blowout. NRG need to get themselves back on track very quickly. This game's not beyond them yet, but it will be very quickly. Another shot. Chicago can't turn around for it. But G2 are swarming all over this side of the field. Justin getting bullied. Still does well enough to just squirm away. But G2, this is what they're capable of. This is why it was so important that NRG hold on to the midfield like they did for the opening 3 games. Because when they lose midfield control, this is what G2 are capable of.
Yeah, G2 easily the best team in North America and playing that final third of the pitch, the attacking third. You know, midfield defense might have been a bit questionable today at times, but they've always got that shooting ability. And another one's going to go in here from JNaps. He's completely dunked on NRG here. You know, you have to go for something there, NRG. Justin trying to double tap the ball off the sidewall. They're way down in this game. Hardly had a look at the G2 goal. It doesn't work out, but you know, when you're starting to go down by these score lines, you have to take more risks.
Yeah, once you hit that 3-0, heck, even 2-0 with like a minute and a half left, you're expecting to see either a goal scored or a goal conceded, but you got to make something happen. And that's what you want, is just for the game to fizzle out where it currently is. Chicago sets it up, and JNaps cannot find his hat trick just yet. It's a battle between himself and Chicago. Who's going to get there first? Drops down. Who is there for the shot? Instead, Atomic holds the midfield line. I love that. Atomic is 4-0 up, and he still refuses to commit. He wants to make sure that midfield is always so securely held.
The clean sheet's important. Just mentally, it's a double table coming in. Two different G2 players.
No, JNaps
catching NRG off. That's a bit sneaky by Justin. You can hide inside the near post in Utopia. That is not see-through both ways. Very deceptive by Justin in defense. I think the G2 attacker knew exactly where he was, but you always wonder in some of these maps.
No, Justin just tries to find some sort of consolation as we enter this point of the game. If G2 were to lose it, we will be talking about it for some time. So just going to lock down from here, get this 4-0 victory, and realize that that is 25% of the job done. Nice shot again. Squishy keeps the ball out. Let's see. Is this hat trick going to be secured? Can somebody get this? Reminder again, it's JNaps and Chicago both on 2. Here's JNaps. He's not there. It's Chicago's turn. Looks like he might have the play. Instead, sets up, and very likely that nobody is going to secure the hat trick for today. But G2 are now on the board. They've got one game. NRG still have their 3.
Oh, that's crazy. After 4 games, G2 lead on aggregate score, but they're down 3-1 in the series. 3-1 goal games for NRG, and now 4-0 in game 4 for G2. All out offense. They did not slip up. And this is really the first game where we haven't seen a mistake from them. And look what happens when they don't make a mistake, when they can just play with such confidence, and when they can play with all this speed and consistently power hit the ball. They do look like they've got a good matchup against anybody. But it's so difficult to put that together every single time, as we see G2 today, making mistakes, and it does fall apart quickly. NRG style, a lot more safe, waiting for the mistakes of their opponents before going for those big punish and counter attacks, waiting for their opponents to overextend. G2 are trying to force those mistakes. So, you know, if they can keep playing their game well, it does work against NRG. We've seen it on LAN with BDS, but doing that is very, very difficult. And yeah, if you make mistakes, NRG will be very quick to punish.
Yeah, G2 of a style that's very good at just blitzing the opponent for about a minute and just get a hold of all of your goals, be nice and comfortable, and move yourself on to the victory. But for NRG, and they're not going to get hit by that numerous times. There is going to be very, very close games that G2 need to find the clutch, and more importantly, not find the mistake. Because when it comes to the mistakes and when it comes to the big plays, the mistakes are coming from G2. And we saw the big plays in overtime are happening for NRG. Just can G2 do it when they need to be clutch?
Well, the big difference we saw in that last game is power shots. There is no hesitation like we saw in game 2. They were just absolutely smacking the ball at the NRG net whenever they got half a look at it. And like you mentioned, no defensive blunders either. So those are 2 things to look out for. Double tap from Justin, just whiffs. Garagee's there, but great cut from JNaps. Not going to the back post rotation, just stays in the middle of the box. He knows that that might bounce into that direction, helping his goalkeeper out of time.
As always with NRG, just keep an eye off the ball if you can. See who they've got lingering in the midfield whenever they're trying to defend. Although Garrett almost snuck that one in with the Doomsday Dish. Justin leaves it for Garrett off the backboard. Justin already there. The defender just keeps the ball away. Although G2 look a little bit discombobulated in this defense, they need to try and reset themselves. Chicago, the only one with any real boost. JNaps finally back up. They've now got to utilize it and find a way out of here because NRG are just going to keep looking for their chances. There was a nothing shot from Squishy. But still NRG pressing, looking for their chance. Another double commit. There's only so more of these you can do before the net is open and Squishy will score.
NRG consistently applying the pressure to G2. Atomic falling off the crossbar there actually bumps Chicago as Chicago's coming back in. So for once G2 are the team who are going to crumble under NRG's pressure. But that's fantastic from NRG. There was not an opening for G2 to work with. They just kept on piling in every player that they had, rotating quickly, recovering quickly, and G2 getting a taste of their own medicine.
And G2 now need to up the pace of this game and start causing that chaos again. Squishy avoids being hit. He has been targeted over and over again. He has done a very good job so far of just avoiding everything heading his way. Chicago off the backboard. Atomic once again off the backboard. They're just going to keep setting off here, but they need someone to take the shot. And it will be JNAPS. He's come up with it yet again.
Atomic beats Squishy to the first touch, but look at JNAPS. Reset and the rebound. That is an unbelievable double tap. But really, it looked like the only way that he would be able to score without having to worry about a pre-jumping defender. He completely outplays NRG. Absolutely brilliant stuff. That's the third man of G2 moving in there. Everybody's involved in that play. Everybody's attacking. We'd love to see that. Such an entertaining team when they can get into the offensive side, NRG and G2 as well. But they're both going at it pretty hard in game number 5.
Yeah, JNAPS is just... He's found another level. Ever since that timeout was called, he did have that one mistake earlier on DFH. But now, he has found his rhythm. And he has pulled out some magnificent goals, truly wondrous. And they need more of it from him. Now he's spectator as Atomic sets up Chicago, finds the bump, but Garrett just lingers around, and now it's NRG to the opposite side. That's how quickly it can happen.
What a save by Garrett. Avoids the bump, clears the ball into the sidewall, and a whiff coming through from G2's JNAPS. Actually puts Atomic in an awkward position. He could not catch up to that, although he was making a beeline straight to net. He went as quickly as he could. The shot from Justin proved to be a bit too fast to catch up to.
Once again, that's that phrase, whiff from JNAPS. He's got no other mode right now, has he? It's either score, flip, reset, double tap off the backboard, or miss the ball.
I'll take it, to be honest, because right now all I've got is that last bit.
Has there ever been someone that could more encapsulate Rocket League than that?
You throw in, a whiff in the big boost.
Oh, no, he did that earlier. Oh, but he was on camera when he did that.
The things that never stop, no matter how good you are at the game. Rocket League is just impossible to play to perfection. But it's definitely getting closer and closer as the years go by.
Yeah, I remember an interview with Garrett back in Season 3. I asked him what was the most difficult thing about Rocket League. He said consistency. Guess what? That's not changed in the last few years, although off the backboard, that's just trickled into the net. And Chicago's got it 2 each.
Chicago testing Squishy's backboard read here above his own head, so it's a tough read, but it's a read that NRG usually hit automatically. Squishy completely missing that one. Chicago's shot did not need to be quick to go into the open net. Tie game. Garrett G with a quick cheat is going to force JNAPS into the same position. He clears. Oh, what a pass. And great pre-jump block there from Atomic to cover the near post top corner. NRG just always trying to respond quickly to all these mistakes. Justin actually pre-jumps wildly. And he's got that landing inside of the net to recover quickly. So covers the shot, but he's got a plan B as well to get back into the game afterwards.
Oh, Atomic off the backboard. Instead, Squishy has the option, actually. Garrett goes for it. Justin now sets up far corner. 1 minute left here. G2 looking for the goal. NRG looking for grand finals. Reminder, when it comes to NRG, they will have to beat V1 twice. V1 hold all the cards in that grand finals. But as any V1 fan will tell you, it's never that easy. So be sure to stick around. That is going to be fireworks in that grand finals as Garrett G looks for the set. Almost found JNAPS. And again, John, it's those physical plays. They don't rely on them, but when they do, G2 have to keep their heads on a swivel.
Yeah, I like that we're still seeing that mixed in every now and then from NRG. Garrett making the right play there. There's no way through with a 50-50, no way through with an outplay. Just drive ahead of the ball, try and get a bump onto the last defender. That time G2 able to avoid it. And here come NRG. Garrett's got a good position for himself here. A little bit of space, no challenge coming towards him. He's got time. Tried to floor pinch it in middle, but that was intercepted at the last second by G2. Oh my, they're almost going to get another chance on net here. Surely G2 can grind it. Yes, they can. Overtime, game 5. G2 need this to stay alive in the tournament.
Well, NRG are 2-0 in these overtimes for this series. Can they make it a perfect 3-0? Or have G2 still got something left in the tank? Been kickoff play, it's been transition play, and this time it's just going to be an outpace. Garrett sends them through, and it'll be NRG versus V1 in the grand finals.
Chicago attempted a back pass to JNaps. Garrett G lurking in the area, saw that coming,